Okay, so it was sometime in the 90s I started having dreams, and at first they were nighttime dreams, and it was a recurring dream. And in the dream I saw a cylindrical building that was half underground, half above ground, like a Native American kiva, except it had a door on the side, which I thought was strange. And so I kept having that dream, and I even had I saw that structure when I was awake, as a waking vision. And I thought it was very interesting because I didn't have any other dreams like that at that time. And that was in the early 80s. And then around 2009, I went to a conference, a weekend workshop, and we did an activity where someone was talking about the decades of their life. And they said in the 80s was one of the best times in their life because they spent a lot of time with a Native American medicine man named Joseph Rael. And as soon as they said Joseph Rael, I was in this scene. I was in a vision. I wasn't in that room anymore. And I saw a small Native man walking through a high desert canyon. And as he was walking through this space, I could hear that he was chanting. He was kind of like praying silently in his mind. And he was doing a ceremony. He was calm, but also concentrated. He had beautiful energy. He was wearing a brightly colored headband. And I noticed that everything around him came alive. The molecules of air, the grains of sand, little insects, tiny little desert plant life. It all came alive with a vibration, with a color, with a sound, and with a vibrating in and out frequency. And everything had its own distinct frequency, color, vibration. I thought it was amazing. And as he walked through this space, there was like a wave of this energy coming alive. And then as he walked past, it kind of settled back down. But there was a joyful quality to it. It seemed very happy. So boom, I was back in the room in the mundane setting. And I thought, that's interesting, that's fascinating. So I Googled Joseph Rael, and I saw a picture of him, and he had a brightly colored headband, and he looked a lot like the person that I saw in the vision. And then I read more about him, and I learned that one of his main teachings that he learned about was that everything is vibration and sound. And that's what I saw in the vision, was this vibration. And then I saw that another big part of his work in the 80s was these sound chambers, sound peace chambers. And I realized at that point that what I had been dreaming about and what I had been seeing was not a kiva, it was a sound chamber. I saw pictures of them all around the world, and a lot of them had doors on the side.
So he started digging with a shovel on the next day. But I think the peace came from the understanding of how it started with him. He was digging with a shovel, and then he thought, wow, this is a lot to dig. So he borrowed a bobcat from a friend, and it was like stressful, intense, and then it flipped over and got a little bit of oil in the dirt, and we just felt like, oh, it's just stressful. We can't build a peace chamber if we're stressful. It has to come from peace within.
So we slowed down. Literally, it took decades. But through the process of building it, we did slow down, and we did feel that peace and experience that peace. We've had fire ceremonies since July of 2013, every month. And lots of people have come here. I'd say hundreds of different individuals have come at this point. Most people say that they experience the same kind of settling down and calming down of their minds when they come in here, almost instantly, to a very deep degree. We just acknowledge the peace that's here. We honor it by feeling it and just responding to it.
It's like being in the womb of your mother. It's surrounding you. It's protecting you. It just feels so loving.